Hi guys, it's Chris. I'm just gonna let you guys know first off, if you're not into deep and meaningful videos, then this one's not for you. I normally stick to the light and fluffy pieces, but yeah. This is something that I feel the need to talk about. This month is very hard for me because my mom actually passed away and March 8th of 2010. 2 months to the day to my 21st birthday. And 5 years ago. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't miss her. He said that time heals all wounds, but I stand here 5 years later telling you that's a bunch of crap. This wound will never close. It will never heal. There's no way to put a band-aid over it. It's always going to exist, and it's always going to be a shadow over my head. I'm always going to think, well, what if I myself die? Or what if my grandmother dies? Or what if my uncles or my cousins or best friend? I'm always going to have that over my head. Which is kind of a sucky thing to think about. But then I think about how strong and how charismatic those people were. And what a strong presence they were in my life. And how they shaped me. And it kind of makes me feel better. My mom was in and out of the hospital a lot when I was growing up. We always knew that the day that I got the call would come, but I just didn't think it would happen so fast. I still remember it like it was yesterday, because to me it feels like it was yesterday. I remember getting the call from my sister Bree telling me that I should probably come see Mom because she was sick. My response to this was, well, Mom's always sick. It's Mom. She'll be fine. But I promised I would come as soon as possible. Got an hour or so later, I got another call while at work. It was my sister Carrie, the second eldest. And she said, Chris, you need to come home now. I said, why? She said, we need you. You need to come now. We're waiting for you. I said, waiting? What do you mean waiting? Turns out my mom was in a medically induced coma due to her system failing. And she was very adamant on not wanting to live on machines, but we still had to make the decision. So me, my brother Bobby, my sister Bree, my sister Sue, and my sister Carrie had to sit down and discuss if we wanted to take my mom off life support. It's like the hardest discussion to ever have in your life. I can tell you that right now. In my almost 25 years, I still have not gotten over this conversation, this discussion that we had. I still haven't met a rivaling one. But in the end, we decided to pull the plug. And that was the hardest decision that any of us had to make. And I normally don't speak for my siblings because they can speak pretty well for themselves. But I know what it was. Even if some of them acted like it wasn't. It was an extremely hard decision and an extremely hard task. So that day we lost our mom. Well, December 30th of 2014, I lost my stepdad too, which was the biological father of 3 of my siblings and the relative foster father of me and my eldest sister. Is and forever will be my daddy. The first father figure I knew because of family situations with my biological father, who I love dearly and is in my life now more than when I was younger. But we lost him too, and it's like it's all happening all over again. Not 1 month after my mom died, her father passed away. Or not one year, my apologies. He passed away in February of 2011, so a little bit before first memorial. So I lost my grandfather and my mother, both on the same side, in less than a year. And that hurt. I wasn't very close to my grandfather, but I loved him. He was my family. And I love all my family, even the ones that live far away. And I hope they realize that. Then this past November, I lost my great-grandmother. 97, like really old and had a very long life. But she was one of the people that helped raise me. I used to spend summers there with her and my great aunt Kathy, and I loved it. They were a highlight of my summer. I could go there and I didn't have to worry. You know, I knew that everyone was safe at my house. I knew that I didn't have to think about my mom, about if we were going to have a house when I got back. I didn't have to think about anything. I'm not saying I had a terrible life, but I'm not saying I had a great one either. I do believe wholeheartedly that it helped me become the person that I am today, and I'm grateful for every strife, for every road that was traveled, whether it was by me or someone else. I am grateful to be able to sit here and share with you guys the person that I am today because of the things that have happened to me. I have lost a lot of people that are important to me. And sometimes I wonder, why even bother anymore? Why even get close to any more people or continue being close to the people I have when I'm just going to lose them all? I couldn't bear the thought of losing my grandmother on my dad's side. She's the most amazing grandma. Or the grandmother on my mom's side, who's the last person that could tell me stories about my mom that I would talk to on a daily basis, if I could. And family is very, very important to me. Not having it is like not having a piece of myself. But, my mom were to see me moping around and crying all the time because of her, she would probably whack me on the back of my head and tell me to suck it up, buttercup, and to dry my tears and, woman up. That we're always going to be a family, even if they're gone. That they're always going to be part of me, because not the whole they're in your heart thing, but because they're in every decision that I make. Every road I take, they have a hand in. Every choice, every mistake, everything. Because of the people that helped raise me, that helped be there. There's not a day that goes by that I don't reach for the phone or think about reaching for the phone and dialing the number that I had memorized and calling and talking to my mother. Sometimes I catch myself getting halfway through it before I realize there's probably going to be a stranger on the other end. Someone else probably has her number by now. But regardless, I still think and I still act when it comes to those things. I still want to call my stepdad up and ask him how the Red Wings are doing. Or how his shop's doing. He helped me to realize what hard work was. He helped me realize that not only could I break things, which I'm really inept at, but I could also fix them. He was a really big part of my life, and so was my mom and my great-grandmother. But I'm here to tell you that even if you lose everyone, there's still hope. There's still a part of you. that every person that you touch has a piece of them because you did. Every connection you make means that the lessons and the thoughts that they helped you to have, or the things that they taught you, live on forever in infamy. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, that there's plenty of people who've lost someone. I'm not saying that my situation was the best, but I'm not saying that my situation was worse than anyone else's. Sometimes I just don't know how to cope, how to deal. And then I remember I have 4 people who are very, very close to my heart and near and dear to me that would do anything for me if I asked. And I hope they realize that I would do anything for them as well. My siblings, of course. And I have 4 people to tell me stories about my stepdad and my mom, and even more people to tell me about my great-grandmother and my grandfather. I learned more about my mom in the week after she died that I hadn't thought that I'd known in my 20 years of life knowing her. And yeah, she's technically not around physically. She will always be with me, and she will always be in every dinner that I cook, every person's grammar that I correct, every speech that I make, every video I make. She's there with me, guiding me through. And the people that you love in your life are doing that as well. So as for how do I get up, how do I move on? You don't. You don't move on. I'm here to tell you that I bleed every day for everyone that I've cared about that's died. That the saying, time heals all wounds, is a load of crap. 5 years later, and it still stings like it was yesterday. It still bleeds and hurts like it was yesterday. But I get up every day. I go to work. I do what I have to do to survive. Because I know that they would want me to do that. That they would want me to take pieces of them and share them with the world. So here's to them. To everyone we've ever lost. To everyone we'll ever meet and lose. I loved my family more than ever. And the death of so many people has made me closer to everyone. I met people that I hadn't seen since I was a baby. And I'd met even more people that I'd never met that knew them. That could tell me stories and that could let me experience a different side of everyone that I loved so much. So, here's to us. Here's to them. The lost, the wandering, the upset. You're not alone. There's a lot of people out there who've lost people. Maybe not as many, maybe not as few, but I'm not going to lie to you and say that it gets better, because in my opinion, it hasn't yet. But there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about something my mom said or do something my mom did and smile. Or see something that she loved, like the scent of lilacs. Or see my dad's favorite beer and smile. Because even though he didn't drink that often, he always had at least one during a Red Wings game. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss them, but there's not a day that goes by that I know that they're not with me. And I will love them forever. And that's how they'll live on. That's how I deal. So, I love you all.